Hello, welcome along to the 2013 Breeders' Cup preview here on attheraces.com. I'm joined by our US experts Steve Miller and Jason Weaver, and we're going to turn our attentions now to the turf races on the Saturday night. $3 million in the pot for the all-important Breeders' Cup turf. It's a race in which the Europeans have excelled, and it takes place at 10:25 UK time, over the mile and a half on the turf. We've had 16 European winners in 29 years. Little Mike breaking that run of success for the Europeans last year with what was a fairly surprising win at the time. He's recontesting this year. He's facing plenty of good European runners, including the Fugue, who was desperately unlucky in the Breeders' Cup Fillies and Mares turf last year. And Steve, she should get her revenge this year. She's better than ever.
She is better than ever. She's going to step up from the 10 furlongs last year to the 12. Just look at the confidence that William had when winning this the race that we're looking at right now over in Ireland. I mean, this is just tremendous. She goes on the ground here, Jason. She is the horse to beat. And look, William took a lot of stick last year for the trip in the Filly and Mare Turf. Look, that was just unlucky, one would say, but on racing's biggest day, when all the money is down, it's not when you want to get bottled up. He's got an extra quarter of a furlong today. And look, John Gosden, they used to train in Santa Anita. He knows what you need to do. Ravens Pass, of course, and so many other good ones over the years that he has won over there. She is the horse to beat.
How easy did she win the Yorkshire Oaks at York? Yeah. You know, that was the impressive one, wasn't it? I mean, there she's beaten Alcazim on ground that probably wasn't ideal. The rain hadn't got in that much because we know she's better when it's a sounder surface. And as far as she is concerned, over the relatively easy mile and a half trip, she'll get it absolutely stood on her head. The one thing she does have on top of that is a change of gear. That's going to be her most potent weapon. That has to be used, though.
Yeah, you need to be able to close from the back of the field, and interesting that they've adopted different tactics with Little Mike last time. We'll get on to his chances in a moment. Let's take a look at the draw, though, if we can, because she's drawn in 7 for the Breeders' Cup turf. And Jason, just talking us through the track from your experience, they start slightly up the hillside. Yeah. Not ideal bowling down to start with. If you've got one that likes to get lit up early in a race, you've got to get them settled, I imagine. Yeah,
she seems pretty straightforward. You can just about put her wherever you want to be. There won't be. It's funny, when you go this sort of trip in America, they can be run what we think is sort of pedestrian-like, but down the hill they'll get a little bit of a roll on. By the time they get up past the winning line, that's when they'll settle into a rhythm and a complete lap to go. But Buick can be patient. He can be patient on her. He knows that she's blessed with a change of gear. The Americans are going to want to start just rolling from some way down. If she can ride that third wave into the race and then produce, that's the way.
And Steve, interesting that Little Mike usually bowls on. They chose to come off the pace last time out when he bounced back to winning ways. He won this race last year. What do you think the plan will be with him?
Mike Smith's in the plate. I mean, I love Mike. He's the big money jockey. Who knows? Mike will make that call. I think trainer will just say, however it develops here. Mike, I thought he was a little bit fortunate in here, as I bid back Big Blue Kitten on this occasion. Is he the same horse that he is a year ago? That's got to be the big question. I mean, look at Big Blue Kitten just closing down on the inside. But look, they got the best out of this one. No Ramon Dominguez. Mike back in the plate here today. Best of the Americans as a repeat champion, deserves to be the price that he is.
Probably, yes. I think if I had to pick one of the Americans, it would be Point of Entry.
Yeah, we'll mention a Point of Entry who was beaten just half a length by Little Mike last year. I think we're looking at the Manhattan handicap here at Belmont when he was last seen back in June. So coming off a little bit of a layoff, Jason.
Always talking about the speed figures, American racing. The last 7 consecutive runs, he's run up through a triple-digit speed figure. That is nigh on spectacular, Steve.
It is nigh on spectacular, and, you know, we make a lot about a group form over here, and when you get a nice horse, like when, say, Alcazim in the summertime got on that Group 1 roll, here's a horse that since last summer has competed in 6 Group 1 events, Grade 1 events, has won 5, and only been touched off half a length in this race last year. Shug McGahey knows how to win on the big day. Johnny V does. 5 times a Group 1 winner in his last 6 races.
Would you arguably say behind Little Mike as well, he was unlucky, wasn't he? He came out late on, flew home or whatever, and just ran out of ground to get there. I think he's the leader from the home contingent.
Yeah. He's a big player.
And I think what you're going to see is Johnny Velasquez will be riding William Buick the whole way around. he will follow the Fugue. They both have a similar running style, and it's going to be, I think, whoever gets the first jump between these two coming in the home straight, and I think William will be very, very aware of that as well. They'll be shadowing each other. There'll be a lot of speed to run at. It's going to be one heck of a finish.
How are you going to split it, though, Steve?
Oh, I've got to go with the Fugue. Has to be the Fugue.
Got to be the Fugue. Jason?
Dear, she gets the double penalty, I'm afraid.
Oh, no. The weight she's carrying.
She's carrying the ball and chain, the Fugue, looking to get that $2 million purse on the board for the Breeders' Cup Turf. She was, of course, so unlucky last year in the Breeders' Cup Fillies and Mares Turf, and we can take a look at that race now because we do have European interest again. 7:43 post time for this race, over the mile and a quarter. Again, a race we've had plenty of victories for the Europeans in. I guess most recently midday for the late Sir Henry Cecil in 2009. This year we're represented by Dank, who won the Beverly D last time out for Michael Stout. A very impressive win on that first step up to the 10 furlongs, and again is one that will suit this faster surface, a filly by Dan Silly like the Fugue.
Yeah, I mean, this is back at the Curragh in the Kilboy Estate contest, and she manages to win the Group 2 readily. Typical late maturing improver. Patience being the key word from Sir Michael. And you would have to argue that with the medication on, she was the one who improved. She put up a best ever performance last time out in the Beverly D. She won by 4 1/4. It said that she sort of kicked at the right time. It wouldn't have mattered where she kicked. She was much, much the best.
She was. She's taking on some other fillies that we must mention from the European perspective. The likes of Laughing in there for Aidan O'Brien, who again has some US experience, having won the Flower Bowl Invitational. We've also got the home team to consider, Tis Flirtatious, and I guess Romantica, an interesting filly for the French, for André Fabre. Was beaten in the Vermeil last time, but a winner of the Prix Jean Romanet before that. What takes your eye on this, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, the Tis Flirtatious has to be considered in here, coming in now form. She may be a little bit over bet because she is the now horse, the home horse as well. One horse at a massive, massive price. 1 year ago, she got unlucky in this race. She's 20 to 1 in the morning line. She'll go off at 40 to 1. Lady of Shamrock. Trained by John Sadler. 1 year ago, she was the Tis Flirtatious, the queen of California turf racing. I don't know if she's of the ilk and quality of Sir Michael Stout's horse in Dank, but at a massive, massive price, she may be a place bet. If you're looking for some value, Dank is going to take a world of beating. Don't want to be a chalk eater again, but she's got a great draw with Ryan Moore in the plate. Could be a big, big day for Ryan.
Kishi was an ex-William Jarvis runner who's actually stepped up dramatically. She was sort of a listed Group 3 performer and has improved. But, oh dear, I'm falling into the trap of being the Romantica, isn't it? Because for André Fabre, out of none other than Banks Hill, who was a Breeders' Cup winner herself, for Juddmonte, everything sits well. And if we ever wanted one to win running clean, it's this year. Romantica, no medication.
Yep, she's a lovely French filly, Romantica. It's the Fugue for the Breeders' Cup Turf, hopeful of seeking revenge after last year's defeat. And that concludes our look at the turf races on the Saturday.